Hello everyone! If you're a senior tester or QA manager, today's video will definitely resonate with you. We are diving into an incredibly important aspect of our work in software development, giving and receiving feedback. Feedback isn't just about pointing out mistakes or praising a job well done. It's an essential part of the learning and improvement process. So let's take a look at how you can empower your colleagues with excellent feedback. Tip number 1. Establish a ticket lifecycle to foster a feedback culture within your development team. This concept works great in larger teams where it helps structure communication and promote continuous learning. For example, using a Scrum board can highlight the stages each task goes through and clearly show who's responsible for each stage. This encourages different team members to communicate and share their thoughts. Remember, the collaboration between developers and testers isn't limited to formal processes. It could happen in a screen sharing session, a chat, or a comment in your application lifecycle management tool. Before moving on to tip number 2, I would like to remind you to subscribe to the Aqua Cloud YouTube channel to get videos about software testing and QA management directly to your feed. Tip number 2. Make sure your feedback extends beyond performance reviews. Reviews are essential, but day-to-day feedback and communication are just as important. Regular retrospectives, for instance, can help you address issues quickly and make workflow improvements. To be honest, at the very beginning of my career, I was quite skeptical about retrospectives' usefulness. I couldn't help but think, isn't this just another meeting that's going to eat my valuable time? The first retrospective meeting arrived. I entered the meeting room with a certain level of apprehension, expecting a mere rehashing of past tasks and finger pointing over what went wrong. But to my surprise, it was different, very different. Instead of pointing fingers, we collectively reflected on what we have achieved, what didn't go quite as planned, and most importantly, how we could improve moving forward. Initially, I held back, thinking that my input as a tester might not be as relevant, but as discussions progressed, I realized that the team genuinely valued my input, particularly about the bugs that have slipped through and how we could prevent similar issues in the future sprint. I found myself speaking up not just about the technical aspects, but also about team dynamics, communication gaps, and overall process improvement. Over time, I started to see the benefits of these retrospectives meetings. We began implementing some of the action items we had discussed, and I saw tangible improvements in our team's performance and cohesion. We were communicating better, understanding each other's roles more clearly, and learning how to proactively address potential challenges. Even more impressive was how we started to anticipate and mitigate risks early in the sprint, resulting in fewer last-minute crises and high-quality deliverables. There were also unexpected personal benefits. My viewpoint as a tester was taken into account more seriously, not just in retrospectives, but in our daily stand-ups and planning meetings as well. I felt more integrated into the team, and I gained a better understanding of the project as a whole, beyond my specific role as a tester. Now I cannot imagine our team functioning without retrospectives. What I initially viewed with skepticism has become an integral part of our work process, a space where every team member, regardless of their role or seniority, can voice their thoughts, share their experience, and contribute to continuous improvement. This experience has taught me that sometimes the practices we're most skeptical about can end up being the most transformative, both for our teams and for us as individuals. Tip 3 is all about looking beyond your own line of work when seeking and giving feedback. Include non-technical stakeholders, cross-department collaborations, and even small daily frustrations. Remember, feedback is a two-way street. Make sure to ask for it as well as give it. My first tip is to keep feedback actionable. When providing constructive criticism, always pair it with a suggestion for improvement. Avoid leaving people with problems they don't know how to solve. Tip 5. Avoid making feedback personal. Constructive criticism can be misinterpreted as personal attack if not worded carefully. Focus on the situation or task at hand rather than individual. Avoid you statements and instead make use of I statements to explain how you would have approached a particular problem. And my last tip, tip 6, stay consistent in your feedback. This not only refers to the content, but also the frequency and timelines of your feedback. Inconsistent feedback can be confusing and discouraging. In conclusion, fostering a good feedback culture requires conscious efforts. But once you commit to it and work on being consistent and considerable, you'll create a work environment where your colleagues feel encouraged to improve, collaborate, and take pride in their work. Thanks for joining me today. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you have other tips or experiences related to feedback in software development, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. Until next time, happy testing and keep the feedback flowing!